Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is Daily Drop number 52. Well, tonight we have a couple of articles for you. The first one is from the Daily News, and the second one is from The Sun. The article from the Daily News, the one that we're going to start with, has to do with the corrections officers who are charged with sleeping and not watching Jeffrey Epstein and falsifying their logs. So we're going to start with that article, and then we're going to go into a little bit more Prince Andrew coverage over in our second article. If you want to get into contact with me, you can do that at BOBBYCAPUCCI at protonmail.com. That's Bobbycapucci at protonmail.com. All right, let's see what these articles have to say. Correction officers who napped, web surfed while Jeffrey Epstein killed himself are scapegoats for prison management problems, lawyers say. The corrections officers accused of napping and shopping online the night Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, allegedly, are scapegoats for management problems at Manhattan's federal lockup, their lawyer said Monday. Tova Noel and Michael Thomas face an April 20th trial date following their not guilty pleas to charges they filed false paperwork while on duty at the special housing unit at Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan, where the multimillionaire sexual predator was held. And now let's remember, folks, this isn't the kind of place where suicide is something that's common. All right? There was only one other suicide in like 21 years there. A mob guy, a guy from Philadelphia who was facing drug trafficking charges, whacked himself. But let's not act like this is a common occurrence in this jail. That's what they're trying to do in a lot of these articles. They're trying to blame the conditions in the jail. They're blaming these guards. And again, there's no accountability for the people that are higher up. There's never accountability for the people that are higher up, right? It's only the frontline people that ever take the fall. A false records charge carries a maximum sentence of 5 years. One of the issues for the defense will be the conditions, supervision, and policies upheld and advanced by the Bureau of Prisons, said Montel Figgins, Thomas' lawyer, during a brief hearing in Manhattan federal court. And I agree with that. Like I said, they should face some punishment if they did what they're being accused of, right? They should definitely face punishment for it, but they shouldn't be the only ones that face punishment for it. If they're facing criminal charges, well, the people that were in charge of them should be facing criminal charges as well, right? Because they're in dereliction of duty as well. For this to happen, the system needed to fail, Figgins said. Debatable. Have you seen a case like this in the Southern District of New York? Asked Noel's lawyer, Jason Foy, using the formal name for the territory covered by Manhattan federal prosecutors. I'm still trying to find one, Foy said outside the court. Prosecutors said that during the overnight hours before Epstein's body was discovered, August 10th, Noel and Thomas slept at their desks and browsed the internet. The correctional officers were required to conduct several head counts of inmates, as well as rounds every 30 minutes, as well as rounds every 30 minutes. Prosecutors say they filled out paperwork falsely indicated they had fulfilled their duties. Epstein, a serial abuser of underage girls and women, was found dead in his cell August 10th. He was awaiting trial for sex trafficking. All right, so what they're saying is that these two guards, they didn't bother checking on these guys for a whole 8-hour shift, not once. They didn't do one round. So they were sleeping that whole entire time. And then you have Barr that comes out and talks about he saw the footage. Well, if you go back, just a simple search engine query, and you'll see, just type in malfunctioning cameras Epstein, and you'll see that the two cameras that were supposedly on his cell were supposedly malfunctioned, and they were sent to Quantico. We haven't heard anything about that. Now, Bill Barr says what he saw that footage. Now they fixed it. Come on, I don't believe any of that stuff. Sorry, I'm not buying it. Figgins said a critical part of his defense will be an upcoming report by a Department of Justice watchdog on Epstein's suicide, allegedly. It's unclear when the report will be released, but it's expected to address widespread failures at the Metropolitan Correctional Center. The evidence in the case will include hundreds of hours of video footage. Oh, that's convenient. Now they have video footage, right? They have a bunch of video footage now, folks. The Lower Manhattan lockup, like the rest of the Bureau of Prisons, has faced chronic staffing shortages and budget woes. Epstein was without a cellmate the night of his suicide, though Bureau policies required he have one. So, why didn't he have one? Who was in charge of that decision? Is that person being questioned? Why is that person not being charged? Why are these two guards the only ones being charged? And I don't want to hear, the prison system is just bad. This is where the suicide rate is on its rather rise. Well, that's cool at other facilities. I'm sure that's the case, but that's not the case at MCC. There is a crisis at MCC New York, and these staff should not be the scapegoats for a crisis they did not create. Let's not get carried away, all right? Let's not get carried away. I know we all want to be the hero in our story, but these two guards, they were derelict of their duty. All right, they're paid to make sure that nobody hurts themselves in these prisons, and they're shopping on the internet and sleeping. There's two of them even. How dumb do you have to be? You don't sleep in shifts? Hey, yo, Joey, why don't you go get 2 hours of shut-eye? I'll do the rounds. I come back, I'll take a nap, you get up and you go. No, that doesn't work. All right. The staff members were not given tools and resources to perform the job correctly, said Tyrone Covington, the president of Council of Prisons Local 3148. Come on, they weren't given the tools because they had to work overtime? Let's be real. If their job consists of sitting around and watching computer monitors all night and making sure these guards that are in high risk areas don't kill themselves, they don't have that tough of a job, right? They're not on the main line. They're not breaking up shiv fights. Manhattan federal judge Annalisa Torres denied a request from Foy that Noel be allowed to keep her firearm while awaiting trial. Foy said the correction officer feared the press. All right, so she can't have her firearm. What does that have to do with anything? She's not charged with firearm-related crimes. So you take her firearm from him? That's not Orwellian or anything. What is this, 1984? Both correction officers both corrections officers are out on a $100,000 bond. All right, so we see what's going on here. This is an obvious scapegoat situation. These MFs are, let's pin it on the guards. They were in dereliction of duty. The whole system's broken. That's what it happened, you stupid conspiracy theorists. How dare you ask questions? Don't question our narrative. Did Jake Tapper tell you that? What about Don Lemon or Rachel Maddow? Would Sean Hannity tell you that? Give me a break. People are all compulsive liars, and yet people continue to tune in droves and wait on bated breath for what these people tell them. And it's lie after lie, gaslighting after gaslighting. It never stops. And that's how that article was written. It was written as just another piece of the official narrative. There's so many water carriers in the media for the intelligence agencies, it's not even funny. It is not even funny. All right, our next article is from The Sun. The headline is, Royal Regret. Princess Beatrice and Fergie tried to talk Andrew out of disastrous BBC interview on his pedo pal Epstein, friend claims. It is claimed they cautioned him about doing the program while his then private secretary Amanda Thirsk believed he could draw a line under the Duke's link to the wealthy pedophile. Yeah, draw a line under it to bring more attention to it. What does that even mean, draw a line under it? I keep hearing him say that. I don't think I like that analogy. How about erase it? Wouldn't you want to use the eraser on it, not draw a line under it? Yeah, let's go get the highlighter. Let's highlight it like it's some Cliff Notes. An insider told the Daily Mail Princess Beatrice and Sarah both advised Andrew against going ahead with the interview. However, he paid too much attention to Amanda, who was encouraging him, saying it would clear his name. Well, you know what? She probably believed him, right? She probably wanted to believe in her prince. She's definitely a monarchist, I'm guessing, right? So she wanted to believe in her prince. He said he never did that, so she wants to believe him. So she says to him, look, the truth is on your side. The truth will prevail. Go sit down for this interview, answer these questions, and clear your name, Prince. Instead, old boy hopped in the car, drank a whole fifth of vodka, and slammed into the guardrail. A close pal of Beatrice insists she wasn't part of the decision-making process. We've heard counter to that elsewhere. The pal adds, B went to one meeting with the BBC, that's all. This contradicts earlier reports that Fergie and Beatrice were pressing him to do the interview. It's understood they were visiting the Queen and Prince Philip, who have been there this weekend. Her Majesty was also seen yesterday being driven from the castle. Yeah, being driven out of her mind, I'm guessing. The poor Queen was 93 years old, just exactly what she needs. Her favorite son, a pedophile? Yikers. Dad Andrew was also spotted there on Friday, riding with the Queen as the storm over his links to notorious pedophile Jeffrey Epstein escalates. Beatrice, 31, and Eugenie, 29, are reportedly deeply distressed after their under-fire father was forced to quit his royal duties. Yeah, of course, they're not getting their dole anymore, right? They don't wet their beak now. Oh, the taxpayers over in England should be jumping for joy. You guys don't have to pay for these people to run around and live their lavish lifestyles and look down their nose at the rest of us. But insiders say the loyal duchesses have backed Andrew and promised to keep calm and carry on. What is this, a meme? The princesses, who are not working royals and have day jobs, have been extremely resolute in supporting their dad. Well, look, I commend them for that, but I think that it's just telling that Andrew would let his daughters go out on a limb for him like this, use his kids as an alibi, when he knows he's nailed. The picture tells the whole story. Him lying about that picture blows up the whole entire story. A source also said Fergie will be concerned about how his resignation impacts their children's future. It comes just days after the Duke was forced to move his office from Buckingham Palace, just days after he was sacked from royal duties. Aw, Mummy kicked you out. The Duke of York was told that he would have to clear his staff and find a new office to continue his work elsewhere. What work? What work could he possibly be doing right now? All right, time to sit back, go take some more rides on your horse. Do whatever it is that princes do, but nobody wants to see you in the public life. Nobody wants to deal with you. Nobody wants to have you as a spokesman for their company. Nobody wants you as a speaker at their meetings. Nobody wants to shake your hand. Nobody wants to greet you at the airport. Nobody likes you. The latest claims come as Prince Andrew has stepped down for the foreseeable future after facing mounting pressure over claims he betted a 17-year-old and for his friendship with billionaire U.S. pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. He will conduct no royal or public duties and he will step back from all patronages. The Duke will no longer receive his £249,000 sovereign grant allowance because that funds expenses for his official duties, such as travel. But he will receive his income from the Queen's private funds. Oh, how cute. He's getting an allowance. Well, he has plenty of time on his hands now, right? Think he's going to do some dishes around Windsor, Buckingham? What do you think? Maybe out there on one of those ride lawnmowers, mowing some lawn? I don't know. What do retired English royals do? But he will. Beatrice and fiancé Edoardo Mepelli Mozzi are said to be reining in their plans. Yeah, you think? Now they got to pay for it, and the English taxpayer doesn't have to pay for it. So we're gonna rein it in. All right, we're gonna go with some Chef Boyardee instead of those homemade raviolis. Oh, hey. The Mail Online report that the happy couple could opt for something low-key instead, while the fallout from Prince Andrew's controversial interview earlier this month continues. A source said it will be more low-key. Bea and Edo are happy for their wedding to get less attention. Oh, okay. And Her Majesty 93 was seen at a function just 24 minutes after the palace released the Prince Andrew bombshell statement on stepping down on Wednesday. It followed days of media scrutiny after his attempts to defend himself in Saturday's disastrous Newsnight interview were derided. A royal source said, the Queen was privately very disappointed with Prince Andrew, despite the public efforts to rally round. Queen disappointed. It's wrong to think that she just accepted his version of events, that the interview had gone well, and that there was nothing to worry about. She saw the fallout and was very unhappy. She has spent her whole life protecting the monarchy, and in just 1 week, her son's actions threatened to tear it apart. Once again, it's all about the monarchy, all about their image. Forget Virginia Roberts, forget everybody else. We have to make sure our image is spot on still, so we can continue to grift and continue to steal from the public taxpayers in England, as if they don't pay enough taxes over in England. Now that they're paying for some old time has passed them by monarchy. Something had to be done to draw a line under all of this. Again, with this draw a line under all of this. Maybe that's just something in English, term of speaking. A phrase that they use over there, but for me, drawing a line under it is like, hey, look, I want you to focus on this. The Sun earlier revealed how Prince Charles, 71, held crisis talks on the phone from New Zealand with his younger brother. Charles made it clear his brother must step down from royal duties. Well, the king-to-be has spoken. It comes as the Duke of York was ditched by charities after the disastrous BBC interview that saw him widely criticized for not showing enough sympathy for the victims of Epstein. How about the whole royal family's not showing enough sympathy? We exclusively revealed today that Andrew spent 4 days with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein to make sure he didn't have any dirt on him, says an ex of the royal. We covered that earlier. That was our morning drop. Go ahead and, if you haven't listened to that yet, download that and listen to that. That'll give you all that information in there. She says the Duke grilled his pal while spending 4 days at his New York mansion in 2010. Visitors have spoken about hidden cameras covering bedrooms and toilets, the ex said. Andrew wanted to see if Epstein, had anything dodgy. He asked if there was anything he should be worried about and received a categorical assurance that the matter was closed and nothing exists in the way of recordings or pictures. If it wasn't for that, Andrew wouldn't have hesitated to end the friendship over the phone. He does that sort of thing all the time. Look, we all know the deal with that. He went over there because Epstein made him come over there. Epstein was telling him, listen, dude, you know what I have on you, right? You know what I have on you. You better hold the line. You better not say jack all, my man, or else you're going down with me. And that is definitely what I think. That is my opinion on this whole situation. It is definitely some sort of blackmail scheme that is not done in a vacuum, folks. There are very powerful people with very, 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 very dark plans in control of what's going on with this whole situation. And if you think this is the only ring of its kind out there, you are sorely mistaken as well. Asked if she believes the Duke's account after his Newsnight interview, the ex added, "At first, yes, but then I had this creeping feeling of doubt. That turned into feeling sick. I mean, really sick. At the realization that he could have been messing about with those girls at the same time as shagging me." Yeah, I guess that would be a concern, right? I mean, if, he's dating you and he's out raping young girls, I guess that would be kind of concerning to anybody. All right, folks, I hope everybody had a great day, a great Monday. If you want to get in contact with me again, the email address is bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. And if you would like to help fund the show, if you would like to donate to the show, you can find the GoFundMe link inside of the description box. All right, I will be back tomorrow with our morning update and the daily drop. Talk to you guys then.